I'm gonna fire this thing back up, stuff my entire family in here, put my race truck on the back, and then see if we could drive this thing 800 miles to Florida. Sounds fine.
Derek Bieri, the man behind the hugely popular YouTube channel Vice Grip Garage, has captured the hearts of millions with his creativity, humor, and down-to-earth personality. While he is still very active on YouTube, fans have recently grown curious about his life away from the camera. Quiet changes, family moves, and new directions have raised plenty of questions. So today, we're diving deep into the real story of Derek Bieri and what's been happening behind the scenes.
This here is a feller's 1981 GMC Sierra Grande. Not to be confused with Ariana, completely different.
It's really no surprise that Derek became passionate about cars. Growing up on a family farm, he was always surrounded by tools and machines. His dad and grandfather introduced him to the basics of repair work, and Derek quickly took it further on his own. He began tinkering with a 1969 Chevy Camaro, and before long, he was hooked on the world of restoration. The early days of Vice Grip Garage weren't easy. Money was tight. Resources were limited, and he had to figure out how to actually build an audience. His very first video was filmed on that old Chevy Camaro, using a broken iPhone taped to his garage door as a camera stand. With no background in filming or editing, he spent long nights teaching himself the craft, while also wrenching away on cars. It was exhausting, but his love for the work kept him moving forward. Before YouTube, Derek worked in the corporate world, but he was never truly satisfied. While sitting in boardroom meetings, his mind often drifted back to cars. Eventually, he made a bold choice, trading in his suits and ties for coveralls and grease-stained hands. Interestingly, his time in corporate America helped him later when growing his channel. He already knew how to plan, organize, and make sharp decisions. That structure, combined with his honesty in showing not just the successes, but also the mistakes of car restoration, quickly won him a loyal fan base. Unlike polished car shows that only highlight the wins, Derek showed viewers the reality, the struggles, the setbacks, and the real work. His humor and budget-friendly methods made his videos feel less like a show and more like hanging out with a buddy in the garage. Of course, the transition from a steady job to full-time YouTube wasn't without risk. But Derek never regretted it, especially since it gave him more time with his family. Speaking of family, Derek is a devoted family man, and his wife Jessica has been a huge part of his success. Their story goes back to 6th grade, where the two first met in school. Jessica was drawn to Derek's humor and charm, and over the years their bond grew stronger. Eventually, they married and built a family rooted in support and teamwork. Like Derek, Jessica once had a corporate job. She was a dedicated teacher who cared deeply for her students. But as Vice Grip Garage grew, it became clear that Derek couldn't do it alone. Jessica stepped in to help, and soon her role expanded.
I call you the CEO, is that
That's
reflective?
fair. Yeah, I think so. I guess scheduling and doing my best to manage everything that you have going on and kind of behind the scenes of.
Running the channel required filming, editing, travel, and restoration work all at once. Jessica decided to leave her teaching career to focus fully on the channel. While she sometimes appears on camera, most of her impact happens off-screen, scheduling, managing communication, organizing shoot days, and keeping Derek on track. Derek often jokes that without Jessica's to-do lists, he'd be completely lost. Today, what started with a broken iPhone has grown into a channel with more than 2.25 million subscribers and over 730 million views. According to reliable sources, Vice Grip Garage has generated an estimated $1.2 to $1.6 million since its launch. On top of YouTube revenue, Derek also runs a merchandise store offering shirts, hats, hoodies, and even car care products. Despite his success, Derek remains frugal, always looking for ways to cut costs and invest smartly. That same mindset influenced his family's move from Minnesota to Tennessee.
Is cost of living in Minnesota, Wisconsin compared to Tennessee is a night and day difference. We also had a third shop that was full of cars for storage and property rentals and things like that, and that's what was needed to make the show happen.
The financial benefits were clear. Tennessee doesn't charge state income tax, and overall expenses like insurance, utilities, and mortgages are lower. But money wasn't the only factor. Derek grew up in North Dakota, where life was simple and peaceful. He wanted his kids to grow up with that same farm-style upbringing, close to nature, and away from constant noise. Though Derek is now a household name in the car world, many don't know that he also served in the military before his rise to YouTube fame. For him, joining the Army was about freedom, justice, and adventure. The recruitment process was tough, testing him physically, mentally, and emotionally. But Derek adapted, using his tech skills to serve as an information technology specialist, managing systems and networks critical to operations. Life in the military was demanding, with long hours and long separations from family. After some years of service, Derek made the difficult decision to return to civilian life. His military experience, however, gave him discipline, leadership, and problem-solving skills that carried over into the business world. With his IT background, Derek entered the corporate world not just as an employee, but in leadership positions where he managed budgets and teams. His ability to think creatively under pressure set him apart, a strength that later helped him launch and grow Vice Grip Garage into the powerhouse it is today.